Hello, welcome to another edition right here on Serenity TV. My name is Faith Martins, and it's such an honor to be here with you once again. Before I even get into the crux of our conversation, go and follow us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook, you find us, you see us. On Instagram, you find us, you see us. And even on TikTok, we are there. So why are you not following us? Why are you not following us? We have really amazing giveaways just for you. And of course, if you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, go and subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification button so that once we drop a video, you will be the first to know. Today, we are going to have a very important conversation, a conversation that reflects on the society, Nigeria to be precise. 2027 is almost here, for lack of better words. I know we are in the month of February, but we can smell 2027. Even though the 2027 seems to be months away, we can smell it right now because lots of political conversations have been gearing up for the general election that is going to be happening on the by February, I think, 2027. So we have members of the government from the opposition party who are already throwing jabs at the ruling party. We have the ruling party throwing jabs at the opposition party. Everybody is just fine-tuned to what is about to take shape in the political space of Nigeria. So we're going to fall right into that line. We're going to have a conversation in that regard, and we're going to explore the situation here. Today, I'm being joined in the studio by a barrister, a lawyer that is really refined in his craft and his skills. And I don't know what else to say that he's politically inclined and he's going to help us decipher the conversation that we're about to have today. We're being joined in the studio by no other person than Barrister Chino Osueke. Did I get that correctly?
You got it.
How are you doing?
I'm okay.
How is I'm good. Thank you so much for asking. So how does it feel, honestly, having to deal with lots of cases? I think growing up, I've always wanted to be a lawyer.
Wow.
Yes. So, but when I finished my what's it called? I was supposed to be a lawyer, but then again, there was no portal for me to enter as of that time. So they just said, okay, you know what? You just go into English. And then we stayed in English and literature as a course. Right after my 100 and 200 level, they were like, should we want to read lawyer? Come and do direct entry. I'm like, yo, I'm not doing it. I feel like the profession is really, really huge and it sort of puts a lot on your shoulder. Do you agree with me on that?
Yeah, you had a similar experience with me. I wanted to read law. That was 2009.
Okay.
I went for law, but I couldn't get it 3 times. I had to study history and international studies.
Wow.
So my second year, I had a good GP to study law. But unfortunately, I couldn't succeed because of there were political issues around the university. They said I should go back to my department, which is history and international studies.
Yeah.
So after then, when I finished, I still had that, curiosity and aspiration to study law. I had to go for the law as second degree, apart from other degrees I read. So this is where I am now.
So are you loving it? I mean, I know it's something you definitely love, but does it come with lots of work?
It comes with lots of work because that's the beginning of reading.
True.
We don't sleep at night. Any lawyer that sleeps at night, that means is not ready to practice. So you have to read and do a lot of academic exercise and be ready to defend your client in the law court. So a lot.
That's amazing. All right. It's really, really good to have you here. Now let's talk about politics.
Okay.
One of the conversation, or rather the topic that has been on the mouths of literally all Nigerian is Nigeria trying to swerve into a one-party system? And I will tell you why they're asking that question. Recently, we've had quite a myriad of opposition governors who are literally defecting to the APC government. And it has got lots of people questioning. I mean, when you come to the governors that are still maybe in opposition parties in the 36 states of Nigeria, you could count, say, maybe 5 or 6 or 7. They're not much. Most of the governors from our states have all defected into the ruling party, which happens to be APC party. And I want us to explore that in a very robust manner. There are questions being asked. And of course, these questions comes with fears. And we are going to explore those fears as we proceed. We're going to talk about what would happen if eventually the country swerves into a one-party system. But do you agree with the questions that some Nigerians are asking about, the country swerving into a one-party system? Do you see that, or do you think, we're just literally just making noise at this particular point?
Okay, there are a lot of political trend and analysis and expert opinion saying that Nigeria is moving into one-party system. Yeah, they may be right in their own opinion, but I take exception. Yes, okay. I take exception because first we ask what is one-party system. If you check the definition of one-party system, it talks about where a political party is legally registered as the sole party that will be operating in a country. And there won't be any other party operating, or either not just there won't be any other party operating, there will be a core restriction. And that one party system, while operating, they dominate every other side of the position. I get me, and it's registered by a body that is in charge of registration and regulation of election. That's registration of political party and regulation of election. So now, the question is there any law that says that Nigeria should be a one-party system? I think I have searched within my little knowledge or my experience as a lawyer. I've not seen where law states that Nigeria should be a one-party system. That was one. Two is that I know why people are saying this, that Nigeria is turning into a one-party system, because there's increase of defection of governors and other political office holders to a ruling party. Now, if you take us back to 2004, when during the time of this man, Obasanjo, he was under PDP. And PDP had 24 states under them out of 36. Now, if you check it now, it's the same duplicate. APC is controlling 28, not 24. It's controlling 28 out of 36. Currently. Now, would you say that as at that time, PDP was operating a one-party system? I get what I'm saying. I know that one-party system exists in some countries, like China, like Cuba, and Korea. But the issue is that they are legally recognized over there. But here, there's no law that is stating that Nigeria should operate or is operating on one-party system. Also, I know that in 1991, that's under military regime, Nigeria operated two-party system. That was Social Democratic Party and the National Republican Convention. But right now, Nigeria is not operating or going to one-party system, or rather, dominant party system. And what is dominant party system? Okay. Dominant party system is a system of governance or governance structure where a particular political party is dominating or is winning in majority of positions. So if you check the ruling party, they are winning in majority of seats, both as governor, House of Assembly, House of Reps, National Senate, and the rest of them. So I take exception by saying that Nigeria is operating dominant party system. All
right. So let me swerve in, just as you've just done. Let me swerve in with some of the things that you said.
Okay.
Now, you call it a dominant party system as opposed to what seems to be a one-party system, according to lots of Nigerians. However, make it make sense that in the 36 states that we only have 7 states that are members of the opposition system. And now we are not, obviously, we are not done counting yet. The election is going to come by 2027. So there is still a possibility that more governors and office holders will still join the ruling party. Now, if you're going to take 27 out of, say, maybe 7 that are yet to still join, do you think that Nigeria has the best interest of its people at heart to want to stifle their democratic rights? Let me explain what that means, or what that question means. The reason why politics and why democracy exists is just so that one particular party can make sure that the other party is accountable. There will be checkmating of public funds and make sure that it is not an OES member politics that is being practiced. That is why we need the opposition party. That is why we need a sort of balance. Recently, there was a council election that was held in Abuja, and out of how many people that contested for that election, we had only one PDP member who won. Now, explain to me what makes you think that it is not a move towards a one-party system, because it is dominance if we have, say, maybe 10 or maybe 15, for instance. 15 or maybe even 16. But having 28 state governors who have defected to APC, and we're still counting, because trust me, best believe it, that we're still going to have lots of other governors who would come out and indicate interest to defect as well. Now explain how this should make sense for the average Nigeria, who is supposed to depend on accountability coming from the opposition party. It is one thing for citizens to speak, and it is another thing for an opposition to also say this and this and this ought to be done. How do we begin to checkmate accountability with 28 governors already defecting to, or that have already defected to the ruling party? How do we start requesting for accountability?
Okay, let me say this. First, I'm not partisan.
Okay.
I don't belong to any political party. The essence of opposition party is to be a watchdog, trying to checkmate the activities of the ruling party. But like you said, in a country called Nigeria, I don't think the opposition is doing what they're supposed to do. Now, if you check during the term of PDP, when they were in government, APC was opposition party. And they had that strong opposition move over PDP. So now what happened to the present opposition? Why didn't they use the same power APC used on PDP to stand against any contrary move of the ruling party? Now, I think we have, apart from PDP presently, we have up to 3 major opposition parties.
Yeah, ADC, NPP, and
Labour.
Yeah,
let's say Labour, because they
I think we are even going to come to that, because you're asking a question that is really vital, and I don't want to cut you off on your thought process.
Okay.
But we need to also dissect, the problems that are currently going on in this party system. We'll talk about it. Carry on with what you were saying.
So now these are 3 or 4 major political parties that are opposition. Now, if you watch, they are so weak. Weak in the sense that they can't stand and speak and their voice will be heard. They can't change some of the, in quote, e-policy of the ruling party. Why? Because they are the problem of themselves. How are they problem of themselves? Because of their internal issues. Now, those internal issues, they allow those internal issues to be deaf them. Had it been the opposition party secured their party internally, I don't think the ruling party would have gotten that access to put them there, because I know that the ruling party is using strategy. Now, if they are using strategy, why not use your own strategy? The same way APC used strategy to hold PDP when they were a ruling party.
I love that you asked that question, and that is something that I want us to delve into. while we are trying to hold the ruling party accountable, we should be talking about the internal problems that is being faced by some of these parties. We'll start with Labour Party, for instance. Labour Party, with its factions, its double factions, literally destroyed something as key and vital that should have come for them as a party, right? They had something that was tangible, but unfortunately, there were lots of issues, right? But we're going to come back to that. Now, let's talk about PDP, for instance.
Okay.
PDP was the major contenders of the ruling party. PDP stood as the major political barrier to whatever APC wants to put on the table. They had strategy, but unfortunately, that strategy, like you rightly stated, was weakened. I'm not supposed to call names, but there's a certain particular person who is in that party that is causing quite lots of chaos. And that chaos started from a very, very long time. Unfortunately, they were not able to decipher it for reasons best known to them. Now, that chaotic person has caused a form of disruption that nobody's talking about. Do we circle all of this to a strategy that is being infused by the ruling party to make sure that the opposition party is not grounded on what they ought to be grounded on, which is to serve as a watchdog? Now, it's like a snake coming into a pack of sheep and literally scattering the sheep. Now, how do we begin to bring this party back to say, you guys need to stay put? Not just for selfish reasons, but you need to stay put because the citizens actually need you guys to serve as a watchdog. How do we begin to get this party to come together and do their job as opposition party? And even in the coming election, how do we begin to get them to stay fixated on what is in front of us, which is the general election? Because if there is anything that democracy promises, is the ability for you to have your choices, right? So we're not going to have just one party with close to 28 governors who are standing firm and saying that it is their own party. I mean, it's their own party that ought to win the election, while the other ones that are supposed to be there, that should give people the choice, because that's what democracy is all about. They are in chaos, they're in shambles, and they have nothing to show for it. How do we begin to more like fix this opposition party right back? What do you think they need to do to come together just so that we can have what needs to be put out there?
Okay, before I answer your question, there's something you said that how do you have up to 28 governors and few other ones who cannot speak out, and the majority and ruling party. Now, mind you, Section 40 of the Constitution gave right for freedom of association. So you don't stop them, the governors, to belong to any political party they wish to. Are you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's their interest, that's their choice. So now, back to your question. Just the simple answer to this is interest. If these guys in those opposition party can pull down their interests and bring up the interest of the masses, this will move. But in a situation where Mr. A is pushing his own interest in that party, Mr. B is also pushing his own interest in that party, there will be chaos, there will be problem. You see, that's where the opposition start coming. That's where the ruling party start coming to put
asunder, for lack of better word.
I get what I'm saying, because where I have my interests, I want to be the president in that opposition party. You want to be the president. Now, looking at it, there is what you call popular mandate. This is the choice of the masses. You are not blind to know that this is the choice of the masses, even though you want to come out and you are seeing the choice of the masses is Mr. B. Why not all of you rally land and support that Mr. A, who is the more popular mandate? And people have said this person, we want him because of his pedigree and his record. By so doing, you are holding down the ruling party. But in a situation where different persons coming out including the popular mandate, that particular person, that everybody wants him to be in that position. It means that the voting system will be what? Shared. And that's where the whole thing
The
scatter.
apathy will come in, and that's a big problem.
And that's the problem. So that I'm bringing down to Imo State. That's the problem. Part of what is having now when it comes to
Charter
Imo.
of Equity.
Yes. If I hope I'm free to come down to Owerri.
Yes, let's come down.
If Owerri zone, I'm not from Owerri, but actually, if Owerri zone can bring themselves together and pick one person, you see that they will defeat every other person's coming out. But if Owerri zone comes out, 5 or 7 persons coming out for governor, that's where the governorship seat might go back to Olo or probably go to Okigwezo. Because of different interests. My selfish interest, not the interest of the masses.
Exactly.
That's the problem we have.
Exactly. Because that's also the problem. That is also the problem. Let's even take it back to the national level to start with.
Okay.
Now, we have a party currently with, like you stated, with someone who lots of persons are aligning to. However, we have another person who says, this is my turn. I want to be the one to go for it. And then it begs the question, why are you guys all about the position as opposed to making sure that the citizens are well represented? And that is where the crack is coming from. Because in as much as I'm going to be against, the whole defecting to a particular party, because I honestly think it comes with lots of corruption, and I honestly think that accountability is going to be eroded as a result of that. I honestly also think that the opposition party has not built their house. They've not structured the foundation. It is still shaky, and it is built on selfish interests when it's not supposed to be so. So it is only when they have fixed that, it is only when they have restructured and understand that the people are the ones we need to think about and, fight for. It is only when they have sorted that is the only time they're going to win. And unfortunately, that's just the sad situation of things. However, let me ask you another question that seems to be all up and about. Now, majorly for the 2027 election, I know there are other presidential candidates that are going to emerge as a result of that. But I want to ask about one particular candidate.
Okay.
Now, lots of Nigerians, majority of Nigerians, or maybe not majority, but a good number of Nigerians have said something about Peter Obi. Though he has come out to say that he is going to contest for the 2027 election. He has declared his interest to contest for the election. However, one of the things people are putting out there is one of his political associate, Kenneth Okonkwo. Okay. He was with him during the last election, but this time around, he was like, no, you have to put some strategy on the table. You would have to take out, in some people's words, you have to take out the good man. Keep it one side. Politics is not for, the soft-hearted. It is not for good men. You have to be evil to be a politician. You have to be stunned with your characters. That's the only way you can take, the position. Now, my question to you is, do you agree that for one to take on a presidential position, they would have to be hardcore? For lack of better words, they would have to let go of, because for me, those things serve as, principles and integrity that has guided him through from being the governor of Anambra State up until this very moment. And he's sticking to his principles. But then again, will principle actually get him that position? What do you think about the current conversation that has been trailing, that position and, the man called Peter Obi?
Can you mention one principle?
So apparently for him, he has the election has to be, straight to the point. He's a straightforward person.
They give shish.
And he doesn't give money. Shish, go come up on your hands. So no bribery, no corruption. It has to be this way. So lots of people are, I've heard talks about, he doesn't give money. So how you want to do politics without giving money? And it begs lots of questions because that's the standard. So are we deviating from the standard because it has been altered to now get into the mud and play dirty in the mud before we can get something that is supposed to be straightforward, just like he sees it.
Okay, there's what you call system.
Okay.
And when you look at the system and you know how the system has been structured, and you see that for you to come in, it may not be so easy for you to come in without following the system. Now, what do? Let me take, for instance, and I believe you have experienced this. If you visit a government office and you want to access something, that particular thing may be there, very close to the person who is in charge of that office. But for you to access that thing, the person will just say, that thing is not available, or give one excuses. But so once you bring out money, take this one and buy a card now, then that's when the person will just sit up and say, okay, I think I saw that thing, no? And you bring out the stuff. Yeah. I've experienced this.
Oh, really?
Yes, doing my first degree. I wanted to obtain a result when I wanted to change over to law. So I went to that office. I asked the woman, please, can I get my result? The woman said, I'm tired. I can't access. I don't think it's here, this and that. It's okay. Mommy, no wahala. When do I come again? It's okay, come next week now. It's okay. Mommy, take this thing and buy drink. It's okay, wait. It's like that thing is here. Now, this is the system. There's no office in Nigeria. You go in there, you must drop something for you to access that thing you want to access. Now, should we target bribe?
It is what it is. It's bribery and corruption.
It's bribery and corruption, but it's a structure. It's a structure. You are calling it bribe, but the issue is that they have structured it in such a way that you can't have access to something. Ordinarily now, if you write a petition probably against a particular person, for that petition to go, you must move it with something. That's the Nigeria system you see.
So has it become our new normal right now?
People are seeing it as it's nothing.
But should we continue?
No, we shouldn't. That's why people like Peter Obi are coming out to say, no, we need to address this issue. But for him to enter into the heart of Nigerians, some Nigerians, not all, because there are people that doesn't believe in you giving them money, but they are ready to vote for you without your money. But there are particular people that needed that money.
What money? What money exactly? Money to buy recharge card?
The campaign money.
How much is the campaign money?
That's Nigeria for you.
Because honestly speaking, I was in an official office just last week, and some of the things that I heard from the people that were just there, it broke my heart into different pieces. Let me explain to you, Barrister Chino. So I was at a popular, official's office, Imo State here.
Okay.
And then one of the things the guy there was saying was, you see this office, this is where they packed money. Money that they use for campaign. This is where they packed it. They did not receive 1/4 of that money that they brought out. Most of those monies just went to people's private pockets. They did not receive chin out of it. And then it begs the question, you're selling your entire future for money, for campaign money, for votes for me money. And it is just worst case scenario, 100,000, which every citizen in Nigeria don't even get 100,000.
1,000 naira.
Some people 1K. They'll give them a cup of rice.
Or highest $100.
And unfortunately, the politics of Nigeria has streamlined the citizens, impoverished them, so that when it is time for campaign, if they say, give me pure water, no worry, I will vote for you, they will give them pure water. By that time, they've dragged these citizens and made them really thirsty for water.
That's the system.
So make it make sense that somebody who said he's coming to change all of this system is not being given access to come and change the system. How can we get it right in Nigeria? Let us navigate through that question. How do we begin to get it right? Do we continue to bask in this system? Because obviously nobody has gotten it right aside from Yaradua and maybe Jonathan for a little bit of time. No other governor, or rather president, has navigated us to where we ought to be. And no offense to the present government, but we are still grappling with nonsense as opposed to sense. We're still grappling with things that we're not supposed to be grappling with. Things like road. I was on the internet today and I saw where somebody did an entire advert for a road, for an 18-kilometer road that they are fixing. I say, how low, how low are we in this country that we still celebrate road that is supposed to be normal infrastructure that citizens should have? You should not go to any place in Nigeria with the resources that we have. You should not go to any place in Nigeria and see bad road. But then again, we get to celebrate when we see road. We have politicians who come and tell us, don't worry, I'll give you electricity. Electricity that we are giving to another country. Ghana is benefiting from us. Then they're having more electricity than we are. Electricity that we're giving to other country. A refinery was erected here by Dangote. Tell me another African country that has a refinery. Mention none. And we're still struggling with basic infrastructure. The healthcare system is impoverished. So how do we begin to get it right? Because we keep talking about the election back to back, but no effort is being made whatsoever to fix the problem. How do we fix the problem? It's not even about who gets in this time around. It is about the mindsets that we just keep returning. Terrible mindsets. People just come and they just want to just talk so that people see them. No change, no imperial change has been made so far.
Okay, like Dollar Akoyene will say, let dollar. Change begins with me.
Okay.
All of us are the problem of Nigeria. And you ask me how. In a situation where, like you pointed out, in an election where you know that you're supposed to vote the right candidate and you go there because of peanut, you vote against your conscience, then you are promoting the problem of Nigeria. So if we change the mindset that no, this time I can't be party to voting the wrong person. I want to vote the right person and stand by my vote. Then it will count. That was one. Two is that Nigeria is such a way that we have tribal issues. And these tribal issues is really dealing with us in the sense that I'm from Igbo, another person is from Yoruba, the other person is from Hausa. I'm just mentioning these three major ethnic groups in Nigeria. Now, the Igbo candidate for presidency is so person. The candidate from Yoruba and another candidate from northern side. You will see that because of tribal sentiment, even if that person from my own tribe is not qualified to be in that position, based on tribal sentiment, I will fight for him to be there. That tribal issue is dealing with us up to now. And nepotism, favoritism, and what I benefit as an individual. Now, if you see people, kind of going for campaigning for a particular individual, pushing harder for that individual to be voted for and for him to win, you will see that that particular person is gaining something for his own selfish interest, not for the interest of the masses. Now, going to the presidency, let me be sincere with you in this. I know it may not all go well with you when you hear it. Sometimes the fault is not majorly from the president, the person at the helm of the affair. Sometimes you dish out policies and programs. People who are under you, who are representing you in different angle, what are they doing? Sometimes you delegate a duty to a particular person, and you'll be surprised that that person will go contrary to what you have given him to do. Now let's come to the Southeast. There are dividends of democracy that are supposed to come down to Southeast. You'll be surprised that a particular group of persons, few persons, amass the whole thing for themselves. I heard from someone, from a reliable source, when it comes to road, you are mentioning road, that before you make any attempt to construct anything on that road, you must pay a certain amount of money to that person. This happened to me when I was serving at Akwa Ibom State. I wanted to put street lights for that community. The traditional ruler of that community called me with the cabinet members that I should compensate them before I put street light. So, that's the system, you get. So for an individual to have access to build a road for his own community, he must ask for permission from a local government. And if the local government chairman doesn't like you, it means that road will be like that, dilapidated.
And the citizens that are supposed to enjoy it are just going to stay.
So
It's sad.
the system. But I wish if the present government, I wouldn't say they are not trying. Let me not dispute the fact they are not trying, because they are trying. The man at the helm of affairs is trying his best, but he needs to put more effort to address some of these issues. Nigeria is a great country, a country blessed with so many good things, with resources.
Mm-hmm.
We don't experience natural disaster here.
Yeah,
It's just human disaster.
exactly.
So if we can-
and leaders' disaster.
If you can harness all this and make it move, you say that Nigeria will be the best country.
We have
best
everything.
country. Not
have
just in Africa, but beyond Africa.
Yeah,
And the core problem of Nigeria is what? Leadership.
exactly. This is where we'd have to draw the curtain for today. I would want to say thank you so much, Barrister Chinua Osueke, for the conversation
My
that
pleasure.
we've had today. It's sad, but it is the reality of things. We are not getting it right. We are making an attempt to get it right, but we have not yet gotten it right, and we have to get it right. It's on all of us. It's on you watching us right now, because we can hold the government by its neck and say, you are supposed to do it, and rightfully so. However, us as the citizens, because some of the things that I get to see, it just makes me sort of say in my own words that Nigerians sort of deserve the leadership that they have. Some Nigerians, because the level of corruption, I don't know if it's from the head down to the toe.
From the toe to the up.
No, it's from the up down to toe. It's from the president down to the citizens. You see people trying to survive without minding.
Sorry to cut you short. Do you know why I say from the toe? When somebody will say, I beg, Namigo repair Nigeria. No be them the cause. I beg, make I do. It's not from the down.
No, it's the head. It's the head, because our leaders. See, Nigeria.
The hair started from down.
It's not true. Let me explain this for you. Our leaders, Nigeria used to be way better than this. Way better than this. Now we have lots of persons who are in poverty. Lots of people who are hungry. And
Abject
that
poverty.
is not me making any excuse. But abject poverty has bedeviled the country. Now, people are being extremely corrupt just so that they can have more food to eat, have more money. So you can see that the corruption at the head has literally affected the corruption.
To structure the system.
It's terrible. It's terrible. We have to get it right. And we have to try as much as possible to make sure our democracy is fine-tuned. It cannot be destroyed. The opposition party needs to get up and rise up to the occasion. Do your job, because we are counting on you to do your job. And the citizens, we also have to do our jobs. Thank you so much for listening to today's edition. Have a wonderful, fantastic day. And until we come your way next time, bye.
Bye.